I hate everything.
Hey there, Shrimpo.
What do you want, Dandy?
I just wanted to know if you want to buy some stuff. We got a pretty good selection today. We got a random glove, a pack of bubblegum I found between my couch cushions, and whatever this thing is.
I see dead people.
Yeah. So yeah, you interested in buying anything?
No, Dandy, I hate you and I hate your shop and I'm never gonna buy anything from you because I hate everything you sell.
So, you're not gonna buy anything, huh?
Nope.
So you chose the hard way.
Oh, Pepple! What is your stupid dog gonna do?
Get him.
Why are you so sad, Dazzle?
I don't even know.
Oh, don't worry, it'll be fine.
Ah! Help me! He's eating my face!
What the heck was that?
I don't even know.
Hello there, everyone. It is I, Finaxa, back at it again with another Pepple review. Today, we, instead of having like 1 or 2 puppets to review, we have 3, or technically 4, because, you know, but anyways. So the puppets we're going to be reviewing today are Pepple, Dandy, Razzle, and Dazzle. So, yeah. Once again, basically what I'm gonna be doing for like these Dandy's World puppet reviews with the Dandy's World characters is I'm gonna like wait till like I make either 2 or 3 Dandy's World characters before I actually make like a puppet review, because if I do 1, then it will most likely be a short video and all that stuff. So yeah, you get the idea. But anyways, so yeah. Anyways, so let's get on with Pepple. Move these 2 out the way. So, Pepple. I'm starting off the easiest. But yeah, Pepple, he wasn't really that hard to make. There was like no pipe cleaners that were used at all for this. It's mainly just cardboard, and here's basically the picture, the progress picture I used of like basically what Pepple's made from. So yeah. I basically looked at the actual Pepple model and then kind of cut out the shape and geometry and all that stuff. So yeah, I ended up getting this pretty good shape. It is a little bit wonky off to the side here a bit, but you're never gonna really notice it because you're mainly just gonna be looking at his front. So yeah, and one thing. This little detail right here, I was gonna use my white paint pen, my thin white paint pen, but I could not find it for some reason, so I had to improvise with foam. And with this little tattoo thing on this side, it turned out very good, but with the other side, it's yeah. And that was a bit of an issue there. And the little legs, I didn't have to do much. I just had to glue 2 pieces of fabric together and all that stuff. And then yeah, I got these little cute stubby legs. And they can't really move around a lot, so yeah. So you can't really have him be in that little sitting position that he's in. So yeah, that kind of sucks, but I might make another Pepple and have it be like the one in that little sitting pose. And we also got his little tail. I tried my best with the tail. So yeah. And we got his 2 derpy eyes. The first time I actually did make these eyes, they were actually too big, but I redid them and I actually got them right this time. And with his little mouth that's just drawn on with Sharpie. So yeah. And the main reason why I did make Pepple was because I wanted to make him along with Dandy, which I'll actually review last because, well, he's the main character and all. So yeah. Anyways, so that's really Pepple. Also, the legs, they're a lighter color gray. I actually got lucky this time when finding the colors because as I had the right colors for the feet and the head, and I thought I was gonna have to use this same fabric I use for Razzle Dazzle, which I'll get into a bit, but yeah. Anyway, so that's Pebble. So we'll get on to Razzle Dazzle. So Razzle Dazzle, they took me a while to make. Well, it's just because of one reason, and that was because of this gray fabric for Dazzle. And also one thing, I'm telling you this, I hate this fabric now, because this fabric was such a pain to use. It was like with this, like with Dazzle's, with like Razzle's head, I had to like do like only like 2 or 3 layers of this regular white fabric that I normally use, and look at it, it turned out well. But with Dazzle over here, I had to use over 15 layers of this fabric just to get it to this right thickness as Dazzle, and the way how I cut it, it's also extremely sloppy. So yeah, and it was just a whole thing. But one thing I do have to say, I like how I managed to get like this little split here between both of their bodies. These normally wouldn't really look that good when I do it, but here it actually turned out pretty good. So yeah, that's a bit of a good side. And also with this arm, it's extremely skinny than the other one, so I'm gonna have to make him a new arm soon. And the legs, they're fine, but it's just this foot was cut out very poorly. I just hated this fabric. It was so hard for me to use. But besides that, I think they both turned out pretty good. So yeah, I like, because once again, I love how I did this little slit there and all that. And nothing on the back, pretty plain. But yeah, and Razzle and Dazzle, they are one of my mains in Danny's World. Well, you may never really see me play as them much in the live streams and all that, but yeah, but I do play them a lot when I'm like not live and just playing in my personal time. So yeah, they are one of my mains. And yeah, I really enjoyed them. And also, I also like how the cheeks turned out with Razzle's face, which is the same fabric I used for Dazzle. And also, speaking of Dazzle, I actually had to redo his face, because if you're on my Discord or you saw my other socials, you'd see this picture and you'd realize that the face kind of looks a bit different. Well, that was because I had to redo it, because the first time it did not turn out well. But yeah, whatever. It's good now. I'm fine with how it turned out. I just gotta fix this stupid arm, and yeah, that's really it for them. But now, time with the last puppet, and it's the main man of Dandy's World himself, Dandy. And one thing, I love how he turned out. I think he might be one of my most accurate Dandy's World puppets, along with Goob, which he's in the bin over there. I don't feel like getting him, but yeah. But one issue I do have with him is because, I'm holding him forward. If you can see that I accidentally glued his face a little bit to the side of his head. Yeah, but one thing, you're not really gonna notice it much if you're just like looking at him in certain angles and all that. But yeah, if you're looking at him forward, then you're gonna notice that his head's a bit glued, that the way how his face is on is glued, it's a bit off and wonky, but I can't really fix it now, and I don't want to fix it, because with these type of puppets, their faces take forever to get right. But sometimes I do get lucky and manage to get it on the first try, but yeah, I'm not redoing this face. And one thing, the petals. These petals were so hard for me to do. I had to make like 3 different like sizes just like get it right, and this is the closest I could possibly get it. And I managed to do it pretty well. No, it's not that bad. And also, if you notice, if you like look a bit closely, you could tell I kind of like drew in like a bit of like darker colors in the petals with Sharpie to make it like look a bit realistic and all. And got his little feet. There's this bit of exposed pipe cleaner, but it doesn't really bother me much. And if you look on his side, he's got a bit of a hunchback, and he's a bit chubbier than the others. I mean, he's like that in the game. And got his little hands. Turned out pretty good. So yeah. that's really it with Dandy. And, yep, that's really it with all these puppets. Now, time to get on with some updates and stuff. So, with the Analog Horror series I'm talking about, it is almost done. I'm just currently still working on all the stop motion and all that stuff. And the last few scenes I actually have to film involves George right here. And he's with my OC Clementine, which I also have to update. But yeah, George. But the reason why it's taking me a while to do all that is because I'm currently gonna later I'm gonna install like wires and stuff in his body and all of his limbs, so that way he's like a lot more posable and all that stuff for all the stop motion and everything that I'm using. So yeah. And another update is you all can see that I updated my OC, and here she is. Well, just my main channel OC. So yeah, I'm gonna be up, and since I updated her, I'm gonna be updating my OC over there. And another thing is that I won't really be making like a pub review on that. I'm mostly gonna just make a community post or a YouTube short about it. But yeah, that's really it. So yeah, that's kind of really it. And also with Sally's Arcade, the 5th episode, I'm still not sure when I'm gonna release it. Like I said, I don't really like giving like release dates on like stuff because I'll have a feeling that I'll never like make the release date, so I'll just make it whenever. But one thing I do have to say that sadly, Sally's Arcade, the next episode of Sally's Arcade will most likely come out sometime at the end of the summer. I know it's a bit of a bummer, but yeah, it'll most likely come out sometime at the end of the summer. And yeah. And yeah, that's kind of really it for most of the updates. And also, tomorrow I will be uploading another video. I know for sure that I'm going to be uploading this video. And it's actually going to be a puppet review of something that came in the mail recently. Yeah. And I just showed her, but y'all most likely know who it is because, so yeah. She goes alongside with my pumpkin rabbit commission from Indy. So, yeah. You just saw her. You'll most likely know what the review is about. So, yeah. Anyways, so that's really it for this, and I will see you all next time when I upload a video, and comment, like, and subscribe, and do all that other stuff. You know how I always end these videos. But anyways, I'll see you all next time. So goodbye.